I am so thankful that Donald Trump's going to be president again. These past 4 years have been a complete disaster for the United States. And I truly believe that Donald Trump won 2020 and that mail in voting messed it up. The fact that the Democrats were screaming at the top of their lungs that that was false proves how insecure they were. The election was fraudulent, and we, the people, paid the price for it. Joe Biden's mass public spending, the Inflation Reduction, no, I'm sorry, the Inflation Acceleration Act, the mass flood of illegal migrants, open borders. It has been a complete, total, chaotic disaster. The only people who gain from this administration are illegal immigrants and government officials. We, the people, have been suffering for it. Trump, on the other hand, is going to get the country going again. Now, obviously, it's not going to be like, oh, on January 21st, gas, rent, and groceries are all going to plummet. No, it's not that simple. It's going to take time. But in the end, it's all going to get better. And you know why? Because Trump isn't going to use government legislation. Trump is going to open up the free market and lift up all these government regulations that Joe Biden imposed, all these stupid DEI programs, all these regulations. They're going to be gone. And Trump is going to let the free market run its course, and that's going to rise competition. Joe Biden killed competition with his mass public spending, DEI programs. He completely killed competition, and that's why the economy is so crippled right now. But Trump is going to lift all these government restrictions, and there's going to be more motivation. The companies are going to compete to gain the consumer's business, and they're going to reduce costs to do so. That is how you make everything affordable again, not through government mandates. Government only makes things more expensive. If you want affordability, you need to get the government out of it and let the free market run its course. It does take time, but it works. Because government was never meant to be big. The government's not meant to handle all of your problems. The government is there simply to regulate and protect our individual freedoms, which has not been going well pretty much since George H.W. Bush, with the exception of the Trump administration. And I am just so happy that we had a red wave, because it's not enough just for Trump to be president. We need a majority Republican Congress too, and that's what we got. Republicans won the Senate by a wide majority and held narrow control of the House. This is what we need, and it is going to be so great. And you know what? I saw something too that said Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are going to give kids free lunches. Trump and Vance only want to bring prayer and the Ten Commandments back to school, which is going to help them more. I'll tell you what, it reminded me when Jesus said, "Do not seek for the food that perishes, but for the food that inherits eternal life." Now, I understand that some parents have a hard time paying for their kids' food, but when you get down to it, you're telling me that their parents can't pay for their lunches from when they're in preschool all the way up until they're in 10th, 12th grade? All that time, they can't get a better job or a better pay raise and pay for their kids' food? That's like what, 14 years? Are you even trying at that point if you can't be better off in 14 years? Because 14 years is certainly long enough. It's certainly more than enough time to become better off. And that's another problem with the government. The government doesn't make you better off. When the government's doing too much help, it gives you all these restrictions and limitations, and you got to follow those and stay where you are so the government can keep helping you. And you're trapped in poverty. You're just trapped in here. Versus if you're going to get a job and become more independent and find more